need to have a huge budget to make your home look beautiful and harmonious. Honestly, the secret to a rich-looking home isn't about money. It's about avoiding mistakes that are costing you big time. It's true, the biggest decorating fails that make a house look cheap and feel cheap are completely free to fix. Today, I'm not just showing you the mistakes, I'm giving you the simple hacks that pro designers use to take a room from zero to hero. We're going to count 5 of the biggest decorating mistakes that scream cheap, and I'll give you the insider hacks, secrets to transform your house today for really not much, not spending a ton of money. By the end of this video, your home is going to look 100 times more expensive. Let's dive in. Mistake number 1, that's the showroom look, and that means matchy furniture. So this is a very common mistake that everyone makes. You go to a store and you buy the entire matching furniture set. The sofa, the love seat, the chairs, all a perfect match. It seems like the ultimate life hack, but you are literally making your house look like it has 0 personality. When everything is a perfect match, your room doesn't look curated. It looks like a boring catalog. An expensive home has character. It tells a story that you built it over time, not just bought it in one afternoon. A room full of matching furniture is flat, one-dimensional, and honestly, super boring and outdated. So what's the fix, you're asking me? The fix is easy, to mix. And it doesn't have to match. This doesn't mean that your room needs to be a chaos from all around. And honestly, I challenge you to do this. Start with your biggest piece of furniture, let's say your sofa, and instead of buying the matching chairs, you just buy one that is completely different. If you have a plain sofa, then you can get a crazy armchair with texture. If your sofa is modern, get chairs that have some unique curves. The secret is to find one thing that glue them all together. Maybe it's the color palette. Maybe all the furniture, they have the same style of legs or the same wood color. And the brass lamp could match the brass handles on a cabinet. The mix is what builds character and makes a room feel layered, personal, and way more expensive. The mistake number 2 is the floating rug. We all have different kind of rugs. And if we ignore the scale and proportion, then that's going to be a big mistake. So the size is super important and it can throw off the entire room. Picking the wrong size rug, buying a rug that is too small or too big is one of the common mistakes that we all make. And it instantly makes a room look cheap. A tiny rug floating at the middle of the room, not even touching the furniture, is a total fail. It shrinks your room and makes everything feel disconnected. A rug's job is to bring all the furniture together and define the space. If your rug is too small, it's failing at its one job and makes everything look out of proportion. The fix is super easy. Go bigger. Yes, I'm telling you, get a bigger rug, and the goal would be to have it big enough to connect everything. Here's the number 1 rule for your living room. At minimum, the front 2 legs of your sofa and the chairs have to be on the rug. This one trick immediately pulls everything together. Some people also think that maybe getting a bigger rug and have all the furniture sitting on the rug might be the quickest answer. Mistake number 3 is high-flying art, incorrect placement of your artwork. And you see it everywhere. And once I show you, you cannot unsee it. Artwork that is hung way too high, and for some reason people hang pictures closer to the ceiling rather than to the furniture. And the art is just floating in the middle of the wall. This makes the whole room feel off balance. It is literally the most common mistake people make. Art needs to be connected to your furniture. It should be part of the vibe and not just floating near the ceiling. When it's too high up, it draws your eyes up and away from everything else. A great piece of art has zero impact if you don't hang it right. The fix is quite easy. So the changing rule is that, and all the designers swear by it, the 57-inch rule. The center of your art should be 57 to 60 inches from the floor. That's average human eye level. So the art is perfectly placed at your eye level. If you have a giant gallery wall, treat the whole thing as one piece of art and make the center of the whole group hit that 57-inch mark. But there's an exception. When you hang art over a sofa or a table, the rule changes. The bottom of the frame should only be 4 to 8 inches above the furniture. This creates a visual link, making them feel like one unit. This tiny change will make your room look like a pro. If you really appreciate these tips that I've been talking about, feel free to subscribe. Now let's deal with mistake number 4, the single light bulb, bad lighting. That's our 4th mistake. Single-handedly destroys the entire mood of the home. Using only one harsh overhead light. So many rooms have just one light in the middle of the ceiling. And it's always a cold blue light like an interrogation room. It makes horrible shadows and creates a flat, boring vibe. Bad lighting can make even the most insane room look cheap. An expensive look is all about creating an atmosphere, a vibe, a feeling, and that feeling is built with layers of light. Using only one light is just for function, and it completely ignores the power of good lighting. The fix is have layered lighting. Every room should have multiple sources of light. The main light could be your ceiling light, but put it on a dimmer switch. Dimmers are the ultimate non-negotiable hack for an expensive feel. So next is the task lighting. And that means focused light for reading or cooking. Think table lamps, floor lamps, or under cabinet lights. And finally, add accent lighting to highlight cool stuff that you have at your house. Small lamp on a bookshelf or a light behind a giant plant to create drama. And please, I beg you, use warm, soft white bulbs in your living spaces, not cool blue toned bulbs. You want cozy, not a hospital look. If you combine these layers with warmer light, you create depth and give your home that soft, sophisticated glow in every expensive space. Now the final mistake number 5 is playing it too safe. And that's the room that's okay but completely forgettable. It's the all beige space with no contrast, no texture, and zero personality. A neutral room is good. It's a good start, but when you don't layer it with interesting stuff, it becomes boring and looks like a generic hotel room instead of a home. A home without personality feels temporary, and because of that, it feels cheap. A luxurious space feels curated, meaning it reflects you. It has depth, warmth, and character. It makes you want to touch it, touch everything in the room. The fix is just inject some personality by layering textures and meaningful stuff. Texture is the ultimate secret weapon. Mix a bunch of materials, a velvet pillow on a plain sofa, a chunky blanket on a leather chair, a woven rug under a wood table, and this contrast makes a space feel complete. Then add your own story. Go beyond decorating. Display books you actually love. Hang art that means something to you, and show off that weird objects that you've collected or you've bought it when you're traveling. It doesn't have to be expensive. Everyone has a giant plant in a cool pot that can become a crazy focal point. Layering these personal and textural things turn your beige box into a warm, inviting, and authentic home that looks like it's worth $1 million. In conclusion, I have given you 5 mistakes that can make your home feel cheap and simple budget-friendly hacks to fix them. As you can see, creating a home that looks expensive isn't about having $1 million or a crazy budget. It's about being intentional. It's about understanding the secret rules of design, which is scale, layering, and personality. It's about ditching the matching sets and getting a bigger rug, hanging your art at the right height, using the correct lighting, and adding texture to bring your space to life. You now have the power to take control and create a home that feels polished and uniquely you. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these mistakes have you been guilty of? And which fixes are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. I read all of them, and I would love to see how you're planning to transform your spaces. Of course, if you found this video interesting, helpful, subscribe and let me know in your comments. I'm here to brainstorm with you, walk through your house, give you my ideas, my feedback about how we can make your space more you and authentic to your style. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I'll see you next in my next video.